Welcome back to the show. The SEC drops another case and we got some great information to go with it. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.32 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off by 2.3%. We see right now Bitcoin 96,600 plus, 2,700 plus per Ethereum, XRP 259 right now. We're off a half a point on the 24-hour. We're off 6.5 on the 7-day. Looking at the range of price, we see we're ranging right now, between 252 and 264. We'll keep an eye out on it, but I want to let you know right now, I'm excited because I feel like, we're closing this window. We're getting ready to wrap up February here. I guess we're coming up on 1 month since the new administration has begun. And my goodness, it has been a whirlwind already. And they're talking about having stablecoin legislation by April. So we're looking at like 60 days or less. We could see stablecoin legislation possibly passed. This is a remarkable time for all of us. We will keep an eye on it. I do want to tell you right now, a great way to join the Freedom Zone right now is you can go to underneath every video, click join right here, and come on in. People are loving this new option. In the Freedom Zone, you get all my daily videos with zero Google ads for next to nothing. It's a great way to support the channel. And then you can also click the more button and come down here and join the Freedom Zone on YouTube or the one that's on Patreon, whichever one you prefer to make it easy for you. You want to join right on YouTube? Just click that join button and come on in. And we got something lined up for you today you're going to love, I can tell you that. Looking right here, I'm loving this. Yeah, I'm loving it. Elon Musk says he is considering having DOGE audit the Federal Reserve. Oh, yes. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like this too. A fully compliant euro stablecoin powered by Stellar, the Societe Generale Forge EUR stablecoin has arrived. This to me is really just like everybody lining up in the starting gates, preparing for this new digital on-chain economy and all the vehicles that need to run on that new rails, those new payment rails, stablecoins, central bank digital currencies, NFTs, tokenized stocks, bonds, derivatives, right? I think you guys know this, right? And then here, take a look at this, by the way. This from Matthew Crater here. If Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation don't push through a hard fork to defund these North Korean hackers, they need to be held responsible for aiding and abetting global terrorism, tagging the U.S. Treasury OFAC, which is the Office of Foreign Asset Control, I think it is, or whatever the Office of Foreign Asset Control, I think it is, or currency. But nonetheless, this is big. This is a problem, and I have said before that I believe the real USD will help people get off the Ethereum network and onto the XRP ledger and other chains. Mass exodus. Watch out. I'm telling you, watch out. And here we see this. Talking about XRP Ledger's role in stablecoin growth here. Native stablecoin support. XRP Ledger native supports stablecoins, eliminating the need for complex smart contracts. Auto bridging and decentralized exchange integration. Stablecoins on the XRP Ledger can benefit from deep liquidity and seamless FX swaps. Institutional DeFi applications, real USD and other stablecoins can be used in lending, tokenized real-world assets, and cross-border settlement. I tell you, I really do feel like we're making a massive shift into this new digital on-chain economy. The question left for all of us now is what will be the representation of the U.S.'s market infrastructure? Because it's obvious to me that the United States of America is the catalyst for the new bull cycle and the new embrace of the innovation of digital assets. And I couldn't be more excited. Let's keep going because we got something for you. Now we see this. Dear Chairman Udaya, Commissioner Peirce, please drop the Ripple case. And this was after the dropping of Coinbase's case, right? Shout out to Kenny for that one. And here we see Jeremy Hogan, who talked about the Coinbase case dismissed. He said the Coinbase case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled later, not even a settlement agreement with some minor concessions. And he says, I guess SEC is not waiting for Atkins to be confirmed before making big crypto moves. Ripple. And then he went on to say in another tweet, too, just to fill you in, he feels like, obviously it'll take a little longer because it's more involved with Ripple, but ultimately same result is what he's seeing. And here the SEC has dropped another investigation. The SEC ends its investigation into NFT marketplace OpenSea. Listen, this could be big. I mean, that's a big signal right there. And I'm waiting for that legislation that clears the road for NFTs and memes and all those things. I have some great ideas too. I just want to make sure everything is legitimate when I go and try to put my idea in motion. So hang on that note. And then we see this. We're waiting, and we know that there are multiple now ETF spot XRP ETF spot applications that are under review being acknowledged by the SEC. Meaning a 240-day window has opened up to do this review. And North Stake predicts that up to $800 million in inflows the first week for XRP ETFs once they are approved. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on there. JP Morgan estimates XRP ETFs might experience net flows of $4 billion to $8 billion in the first 6 to 12 months post-launch. Yeah, bring that on. Come on, Ian. Yeah. Meanwhile, another state, South Dakota lawmakers schedule a hearing next week to review bill allowing state Bitcoin investments. But hang on here. I have to remind everybody very quickly that Senator Lummis introduced the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill in her own state, Wyoming, and it was just struck down. So watching all of this very closely, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I think that sovereign wealth fund is going to be very big for Bitcoin and other assets too. I really do. I'm just not so sure about a strategic reserve, whether it be a state level or federal level, but we'll see. Nonetheless, take a listen to this. This is Paul Barron right here. Shout out to Paul Barron, who will be at XRP Las Vegas. You better get your ticket for XRP Las Vegas. I'm telling you. I'm talking to somebody right now, and if I say their name, I'm not going to say their name until we got them locked up and they're coming. But if they, oh man, I'm going to leave it all on the field for everybody. You know that by now, right? I'm doing everything I can to make it amazing for you guys. I really am.
Open up something that may be cracking the code for retail sales. Take a look.
No doubt about it. This kid, this young gentleman, this young man has a breakthrough for retail, solving a $1 trillion problem with XRP. It's zero fee payments, and he's going to do it right before your eyes.
It's an XRP wallet, same as Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, but instead of Visa and MasterCard, we are straight on the XRPL network. So let's do 2 cents for this one. Continuous payment, waiting payment, we just tap, straight away processing transaction. It's gone to the test net. And as soon as this goes on chain, we'll get a little success message. Done. We tap here. You can see it verified on chain. 2 cents.
Wow, that's crazy.
Boom.
All right.
It really is amazing. There's no question about it. And the rest of this video is fantastic too. Paul does a great job. But I want to jump forward right quick because I want to play you something. I was just on Andy Scheckman's show. And shout out to Andy, and thank you for having me, Andy. It was such a blast. Always love sitting down and speaking with you, and I'm already getting great feedback about our conversation. But in this conversation, and the whole thing's fantastic, I really hope you go watch it. In this conversation, he asked me to give my explanation of, like ledgers and the XRP ledger and that technology to someone who doesn't understand it, right? Take a listen to this. I tried to do my best here, and I like to think that I did get this to a place in real time. I did not know I was going to be asked this question, but I did my best. And I think I came away with a pretty good explanation that could help a lot of people that need to gap fill how they see this technology. So take a listen to this. I hope it helps you too.
With you on that, no question about it. Just for my listeners and people who maybe don't understand, Can you just delineate the concept or the difference between the rails and the money? In other words, what part of XRP or Ripple or their suite of products would be considered the rails that everything rides upon, and what part would be considered the actual money that people would use to exchange cross-border?
That's a very good, very good. Let me paint. I'll give an analogy for people to understand this. I think in a very simple, basic way. And one analogy. Let's start here too, because this is such a good one, right? Let's just talk about the difference between paper dollars and digital dollars. On your paper dollar, there's a serial number right there, right? If you want it to be digital, you keep the serial number, put it on your phone on a digital wallet, and throw away the paper. There's your digital dollar. It's the serial number put in a digital form on your thing, on a ledger, which is these value protocols that cannot be manipulated. So once something's been minted and put on it, or once a transaction's been placed on it, it is forever there, and there's no taking it away. Now, another analogy that helps new people coming in to get a hold of these things, imagine a superhighway that's been built, but there's no cars on it yet. The cars that are to run on the XRP ledger, that are the native tokens, a lot of people think, oh, that's the XRP token. It runs on the XRP ledger. It does. But it's not the native token. The native token designed for the XRP ledger is digital dollar stable coins and central bank digital currencies for the countries that choose to make those. Those are the cars that are going to run on the highway, delivering all kinds of value. Then there will be tokenized stocks, bonds, and derivatives. There's another form of new digital tokenized cars running on this protocol that's a highway. Well, currently right now, we don't have the kind of legislation that allows for all of that at scale, or for the financial system to participate on these payment rails the same way that they participate on the MasterCard and Visa payment rails, right? These are a new set of payment rails. And I remind people that in the early days of the internet, law firms weren't allowed to use fax machines and email until they had legislative clarity that allowed them to do so, to cover them for privacy and those reasons. So for the same reasons but broader list, this is why we need legislative clarity for these payment rails, the highways, these new highways to move money, fast, instantly, secure. Understand that most of our payment system is constructed with the 60s and 70s technology, and then all these things stacked on it to make it look like it's really fast today. So what we're talking about is value protocols that are like a new empty highway. The cars that run on them will be all of the financial instruments from dollars to stocks and bonds and derivatives tokenized and then placed on that new highway. And then you'll need some XRP as gas in your car to move those cars on the highway. And then as you get so much traffic going back and forth for people looking to make markets every day, like they do every day now, but on this new highway, there'll be some new opportunities to make pairings between things that were never possible to pair before, because not only do you use the XRP as gas to move all of these different instruments on the highway, but you can also pair using XRP to make pairings more efficient and more costly than ever before in human history on this new highway. And this is where you get that, I believe, exponential growth over time once we get the legislation. Now, all of this transformation, Andy, I don't believe happens with the confidence that's needed to bring everyone here if we don't underpin it all with gold to bring the confidence to that new digital on-chain economy.
Now, real quick, I just want to come in and say that I'm not suggesting in there that I think gold is backing XRP. I think that a combination of assets that are tokenized will underpin that. And largely, I think a revaluation of gold and having gold as a part of that basket of reserves would underpin that confidence to move to a new digital on-chain economy and value protocols like XRP Ledger. I just wanted to clear that up. And I said it would be costly. I meant to say cost effective. But again, I didn't know it was going to be asked that question. So I was just glad I was able to field it the way that I did. Now let's go here. And I want to bring it in right here and listen to what he asked me here.
incredible potential along with utility, but potential is usually front and center. What do you think is the biggest risk to XRP's future that nobody is talking about?
You know, it's a great question. And I would have said before the announcement of treasury bills going on the ledger, the greatest risk would be that they don't do that. But they just did.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think people, I mean, I think that's a fair point, Brad, because when you get the treasuries on there, you've already gotten to the highest level of acceptance.
The
And
most trusted product in the world, that's the most credible investment in the world, is the US bond, right? And the fact that they're saying that they're tokenizing in conjunction with BlackRock, 11 trillion under assets, who the government turns to buy everything up after the Fed wrecks a cycle. They're putting tokenized T-bills on the XRP ledger. It's like, you said blessing a minute ago. And it is. It's a blessing. It's a coronation, if you will, an anointing. That's how I see it. And before that was announced, I think a lot of the concern that people had was like, man, they're never going to use it. It's all pie in the sky. They might be piloting it. They might be doing this. They might be trying that. But the risk is that it could go to zero. I don't think it's going to zero now. I think when you see that kind of movement and embrace, and I want the listeners to think about what we're saying now. Even our greatest adversaries and enemies around the world hold U.S. bonds. That's the dirty little secret, right? So, you know, our bond market is the deepest, most trusted market in the world. And now it's being tokenized on the XRP ledger. So I don't think there's a chance it goes to zero. I think the question for myself, at least at this point, is left is how much market capture do we get? Because it's already not at zero, and we're already seeing the most blessed thing happen to give everyone in the world the confidence that you could use the ledger because the United States government's allowing their treasury bonds to be put on it, right?
Pretty remarkable, you know, and that is how I see it. And I hope that helps other people understand kind of where we are in this adoption phase, right? Again, you know, we have not seen the top-down adoption like we were about to. We've seen that with the internet. It was the governments and military that used the internet before consumers and regular everyday citizens did, right? So we're about to see that flip of that approach. We're about to see the U.S. government adopt it for stablecoin technology and things of that nature. Now, whether it's the XRP ledger or not remains to be seen, but I believe there will be a handful of protocols that get valued and adopted and respected or get some coveted kind of position be based on the things like what we've talked about in this interview with Andy. Again, I want to shout out Andy for everything that he set up for us. I really had a great time talking to him, and you could go follow him at Miles Franklin and watch that video and all the other incredible content that he has. Now this right here, Modern Investor, let's add in the bonds that we talked about, right? The deepest capital markets in the world, right? Let's talk about it right here. Let's hear what Modern Investor throws in on top of it, because now we got to think about the possibility of zero cap gain tax on American U.S. domiciled digital assets.
If we hear that you can buy, hold, sell, and trade Algorand, XRP, HBAR, and Cardano tax-free, what do you think the corporations are going to do? Do you think they would overlook it and go, we don't need tax-free? If we hear...
You damn right. They're going to move to tax-free. I mean, I think it was Charles Hoskinson that rightfully said, you know, Wall Street is the original degenerate gambler. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they see that, they hear that. You think they're going to stand on the sidelines? Hell no. And then that leads to this. Egg Red Crypto gives us short-term and long-term price targets. $4 to $6 on the short side, 33 to 60 bucks on the long-term side. And this is what's interesting about this particular year. Getting legislation for stablecoins, getting some legislative clarity on taxes, getting the clarity for a market infrastructure bill, and getting all of that done before the end of this year, I can't imagine what the potential is for growth here. Not to mention moving forward, understanding that once that legislation is in place, every financial institution is now ready to go to work. They're no longer being threatened to not touch this stuff. And at that point, it's a brand new ball game out here, and it will be very hard. And I think that's why I love this chart so much in particular. Because yes, oh, he's like, oh, you know, I know some people be like, oh, wait a minute, between $4 and $6 and $60, well, I could give that. Yeah, well, not really. Because the truth is that what he's sharing here, he's actually seeing on the charts. What is still in question is how much of this fundamental news is actually going to unfold for us in a timely manner to allow the charts to realize that fundamental news as the market reacts in real time organically to that information. That's what we've never witnessed before. That's what I'm so excited that all of us are here together to witness, I could tell you. And that Wall Street, for the first time, will be our exit liquidity, not the other way around. Whoa, I love that one. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone. I've got a great one for you today. I hope you will join us. Just go down to the video right under the title, click the join button there, and we'll see you inside. Come on in. All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's get this thing lined up here. I tell you what, this is straight fire.